basically what a resume is for you. It's looking to see what you have in common with this job, okay? And the whole introduction part about having it look good and making a good first impression, you keep that in mind also when you're doing a resume. Okay, so I just want to make a good impression. I want to make a good enough impression that they want to talk to me. Okay, I don't have to tell them my whole story here, because in the interview I can give them more details. But in the resume, I just want to give them enough to create some interest in me so that they'll call me in. It's part of an active job search, and by part of an active job search, what that means is it's only one little part of it. The people that do more things are the people that are more likely to get a job. So if the only thing you're doing is going on the MU job link to look at jobs, that's one thing you can do. But you could also go to job fairs. You could also meet with recruiters if they came on campus. You could also go to websites of companies or organizations you're interested in. So the more things that you're doing, the more ways you're involved or active in your job search, the more likely you are to get a job. You don't want to see big blocks of narrative on the resume. Nobody is going to read that. They're just not. So if I say that I organized a fund drive for the Dietetics Association and we raised money for Gleaners, okay? I'm not going to say I was responsible for organizing the fund drive for the Gleaners Food Bank and da-da-da-da. I'm just going to say organized fund drive for Gleaners Food Bank. It's very easy for them to see. Okay. It needs to be perfect, no mistakes. Yes. Look at it because it'll say what you think it says. And 3/4 of the time when somebody brings in a resume for critique, that's what we find are typos.
Read out loud.
Yeah, read it out loud, put it down, come back and look at it, you know, and so you get rid of the typos. Go down to 10 point on your font, but you don't want it to be so small that somebody's kind of squinting to read it, okay? Most resumes for new college grads are going to be 1 page. It's not a big thing if you go to a second page, but know that if they're not seeing what they want on that top of that first page, they're not moving on. Okay, so the other thing I would say is, if it's important, I want it to be on my first page, even if I go to a second page. I want the most important stuff on the first page. If I only have this much on the second page, I'm going to edit it and get it to 1. About you, it's about them. Okay, so the more you can do to find out about what they do, what the job entails, the better off you're going to do in the interview. Okay?
You know what I found when I was interviewing is, if you can get past that resume and in the door, oh my gosh, you've just gone total hurdles.
Right.
But after that, a lot of it is making sure that they like you.
It is.
It doesn't even have to be because you have the skills. When I got my first job out of college, it's because we both went to Michigan State and we both loved cars. And we sat there and talked about Corvettes and Camaros, you know.
And it truly is, because really on paper you're all going to look alike. Mm-hmm. So everybody on paper looks like they meet the qualifications. I'm not interviewing people who I don't think are going to meet my qualifications.
Yeah.
And so now what I'm looking for is, do I think you're going to be able to, do I like you? Do the other people on my team like you? Do we all agree that we could all work with you? Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to. You should be prepared to discuss these things. Your resume, your goals, your strengths, weaknesses, problem areas, why you want to work for them and why they should hire you. Be able to answer why you want to work for them and why they should hire you. Know that in yourself before you go in there. You know, and you do that by you researching the organization. You can go online. If it's a public agency, you could go there. When I applied for this job at Madonna, I came to Madonna, I walked around, I went to admissions, I got a brochure or a booklet on the programs, and that was before all this stuff was online. Now this is online, I wouldn't have to do that. But if it's a public place, I can go in and see how people are dressed. You know, I can get a lot of, just to make me feel more comfortable when I actually go in on the interview. this. I think I said on the resume, 6 to 10 seconds if they're gonna look and if they're even gonna talk to you. They're within the first minute, they're already deciding if you're the right person or not. Okay? Now, on paper, you look like the right person. But when you walk in the door, I'm reading your body language, I'm looking to see how confident you are, and if I'm not getting a good first impression when you walk in and sit down and shake my hand, then it's hard for you to shake that. Okay, so give yourself time to prepare, time to be, to calm yourself down and be as confident as you can. And when you shake hands, shake hands. Don't, it's about just how you stand, how you sit, how you shake their hands, if you have eye contact. More so at the beginning than even what comes out of your mouth. Okay, so, that whole giving yourself time, preparing yourself, we're all going to be nervous on an interview, but anything that we can do that calms those nerves down, that's what we want to try to do. And one of the things is preparing and giving yourself time. So be able to express your interest and help them to see why they should hire you. Even at the end, if they say, do you have any questions? It could be a question about, like, can you tell me what a typical day's like? Could you tell me who I'd report to? Could you tell me why this position is open? What happened to the last person that was here? Okay? Questions to stay away from are, how much does this pay and are there any benefits? I'm going to get that before they offer me the job, but I want on this first interview to really focus on what the job is, because we're just looking to see if this is a good match. When they offer you the job, they're definitely going to tell you salary and benefits then. Remember, it's a conversation, so you're not just in a hot seat answering all the questions exactly right. Sometimes you don't know every answer, but that's when you let them know, I'm flexible, I'm a quick learner. In this situation, I didn't know how to do this, and, they gave me this booklet or whatever, and I learned how to do it, and I was able to carry on. Okay, so it's conversation. Prepare as much as you can by going over questions that are typical, by going to job fairs, by, driving down there to see where you're going to park. Even parking is an issue for us, so give yourself plenty of time to find all that kind of stuff up. Know why they should hire you. And be able to verbalize that. Okay, you're going to talk about your qualifications in relation to what they're asking for. You're going to talk about that you're excited, enthusiastic, whatever about this position. Be yourself and follow up.